I sold my violin, I sold my sewing machine, and I was able to gather some money. I told, even when I told him that, please, I want to sell this, he was like, are you sure you want to do this thing? Are you sure you really want? I was like, I am very, very sure. The problem we have is people, not starting from somewhere. I look forward to, have some branches in other states and even outside the country. At least by the grace of God, I've been able to penetrate 3 countries already: Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Kenya, which I look forward to more. My name is Happiness Bassey Thompson, an indigene of Akwa Ibom State. I am the CEO of Apeenez Legal Collections. It all started in 2021 when I was looking for what to do. At first, I wanted to go into fashion and designing, but something happened along the way. One day I was at home and a friend of mine who sews called me and he was like, I've seen something, someone brought lawyership to my shop and the thing is very fine, and he said that there's a particular place they make it and I would love you to come and check it out. And I was like, wow, really? So I got to his shop and I think that was my second time of seeing lawyership. The first time I saw lawyership was from my uncle because he's a lawyer. When he came back home from Kotoba, he showed us his wig and all of us, we saw the wig, we shouted and embraced him, we screamed, the bar, the bar, the bar. But as at that time, I didn't really, pay close attention to it. So when I saw it the second time from this my friend that showed it to me, I was so intrigued by it. I was like, wow, this thing is so amazing. Like, it's something I really want to do. It's something I really love to go into. So long story short, I was like, okay, no problem. I would love to know where this thing is being made. So after like a week or two, he himself went to the place that this stuff is being made. And when he went there, he took the pictures, took everything, and he came back and showed it to me. And I was like, I am so much interested in making this thing. And one of the things that really intrigued me was, number one, lawyers people making skill is a very rare skill. It's not something that people we see on a daily basis. It's not something that we see people do it everywhere. It's very, very rare. So, and me, I love things that are like that. I love things that are not really common. I love to try out things that are like kind of unique. So I was like, please, I am going for this thing. But as at the time that this stuff happened, I didn't really have enough money on me. I didn't really have much money on me. But then I just wanted to give it a try. So I told him that I am so much interested. I am so much interested. And he was like, okay, this is how much you're going to charge for the training fee. And looking at the location, you need to travel down to that place, stay there so that I'll be able to learn the stuff. And I was like, wow, how do I even start? How do I even go about this? I think a month or two passed, and as at that time, I had a violin. That was 2021. I had a violin. I also had a sewing machine, which as at that time I was learning how to sew shirts. So I was like, what do I do? How do I even get this money? How do I even relocate myself from to that particular place to start learning this thing already? Because as at that time we were on strike. I had gotten admission into University of Uyo, but then the whole strike stuff happened and I couldn't proceed. So I really wanted to learn the stuff before the strike was over. So I sold my violin, I sold my sewing machine, and I was able to gather some money. Even when I told him that, please, I want to sell this, he was like, are you sure you want to do this thing? Are you sure you really want? I was like, I am very, very sure. So he was the one that even connected me with someone who would buy the machine, the sewing machine. I sold the sewing machine, I sold the violin, I gathered the small money I had and went straight up to that particular place. I made my payment, and as at the time I made the payment for the training, I didn't have anywhere to stay. And as God could have it, he left me at the training center and said that he wants to start looking for a place, where I can where I can stay, like a renting place, not like for free. So we just went from houses to houses, and luckily for me, there was a particular compound we went to. The compound was fenced and very nice. So because since I was new to that environment, it needed a very secure place for me. So he went to the place, to the compound, met with the landlord and the landlady. So he explained everything to them, that if they and asked them if they have like a room to rent out. So they were like, okay, if the person wants to come and learn a skill, she can come and stay with us for the duration. So when he came back, he told me that he has found a trainer. I was like, oh, thank God, how much is it? He said that those people said I should come and stay for free. And I was like, stay for free? What? Like, are you for real? So at that moment, I knew that God was really involved, because the way everything played out, it was unbelievable. But I really thank God that I was able to, go through the whole process and came out successful. How I was able to transition this skill into a business. Obviously, the reason I went to learn that skill was not to come back and stay at home now, even though I had the mind of going to school. And yes, while going to school, at least I should be able to do this thing too. So before I was done with my training, I was done with the training 2022 December. So by November, I told my boss that I want to make 2 weeks for myself. So I was able to purchase some materials, and after work, after my main training at the working place, I will go back home and do my own personal work at night. So obviously, I think between November and December, I had most sleepless nights, because I wanted to be able to make some weeks before I'm done with the training, knowing that by January school was going to resume. So during that time, most of my nights was spent doing work for my personal, because I can't go to my boss workplace and tell him that I want to make weeks for myself. So my day dedicated to him, and then at night for myself. So before December, I was able to make 10 weeks for myself. At least that was like a good way to start for me. So in my mind, I was like, okay, when I'm back, when I come back to you, I'll now start selling, see how I can sell these 10 weeks and see how it's going to go. Being that I'm just starting for the first time. When I was done with the training by December, January, I came back to school at resume. I was just trying to balance, first semester now, day one, everything was so overwhelming. And I was like, okay, let me see how I can balance this thing with business. So I took those few weeks I had made for myself. I took them to the studio. I took them to the studio. There was one guy I know then. He's a photographer, so but I just explained to him that I want to take pictures of this stuff. And as at that time, he collected 5,000 naira for me. So I just took because I needed quality pictures. I didn't want to use my phone, and as at that time, I didn't really have a good phone. I was using one Samsung Apeenez, something like that. So I took the weeks to the studio, took clean photos of them, collected the photos, came back home, and my Facebook account that wasn't really active yet, because me, I was always shying away from social media. But when I came back, I was like, let me just start posting this stuff. Let me start putting this thing up there and see how far it can go. So I started posting on social media. I created a page for my brand. Like I just started, doing something. Before I could know it, I already started. I just came up with the name Happiness Legal Collections. But the reason I choose that Happiness was so that it would just, kind of sound the same as my real name, Happiness. So I came up with the Happiness, and I registered the name on CSC. I created a Facebook page for it, and I started creating my posts. I was so intentional about it. Like throughout my 2023, every single day I was making posts. And the funny thing is, when I started, I didn't really make sense. I think throughout the whole of 2023, I was able to sell only, I think, 5 or 10 weeks. But then I was posting as though I was making sales every day. I was posting by 6 o'clock. I'm awake creating content. Most times I'll create content 3 times in a day. I'll create in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I was so consistent, like I was lauding myself on social media, and by the grace of God, I could not just let it go. I was like, this has come to stay. This brand has come to stay. I'm not leaving it. This is my business. This is what I'm doing. I am doing it until I can no longer do it. The problem I'm trying to solve is number one, accessibility. Because to be very honest, lawyers fee is not really accessible to some extent. It's even now that some persons are trying to come up, trying to sell it not as producers but as marketers. But before you're able to get it, like you have to, search everywhere. And even to some African countries, they can't have access to lawyers yet. So by the grace of God, I've been able to penetrate some African countries, which has been like one of my goals and one of the things I want to achieve. Accessibility. At least I've been able to, give access to people who couldn't have access to getting lawyers fee, and that's like probably a problem for me. My core values are excellence, customer satisfaction, and integrity. I am a perfectionist and I love everything I do to be perfect. I love it to be excellent, starting from the production to the delivery. It gets to an extent that I can decline someone's order just not to compromise my integrity or my excellence. So what keeps me motivated is not to go broke. Sapa, hey, money has to keep coming. It has to keep coming. But aside from Sapa dealing with me, like everything, just going out there, doing this thing, being able to afford the things I need, being able to do those things by myself, they are the things that really keep me motivated. And I want to make myself so much proud, not just myself, but the people around me, my family members. I want everybody to be so proud of me. And those things really keep me motivated and going. Okay, my journey in this business has been amazing. In fact, I'll rate my growth 110 over 100 because it's been massive. Something I started with only 10 weeks, and in 2020, I think I made less than 10 week sales. Now in 2025, we are just in May, and I've sold close to 200 weeks already. So before the end of this year, trust me, I can even make up to 1,000. I can even sell up to 1,000 weeks. So the growth has been amazing. It has been massive. It's not even something I expected. In fact, when the sales came, I was like, wow, this is not something I expected. I did not even expect it to be that fast. But all the ways, I thank God because He has been the one that has pushed me up to this point. I've not really had much challenges since I started. One of my major challenges is sourcing for material, and it's not just any materials, but this particular materials. This is horsehair. This is one of the materials we use in making lawyers wig. And before you're able to see this, you sweat. So it's been one of my major challenge. But then I have my way. At least right now I'm trying to see how I can secure like a major supplier that will be supplying me this. So it's not really like a big deal. Balancing my business with school has not really been easy. It's not easy. Sometimes I forget that I'm a student. But then I've been trying my best. There was a day I was in class and someone messaged me, and it was one of my biggest order, and the order came urgently. I had to leave school. I had to leave class, but that was like after I attended like part of the half of the class. So I just took a mission and went out. But all the ways, I've not really tilted to one side. I've been able to balance the both. I will do this one and also do this one. I will create time for work and also create time to study. I would say that being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's not really been easy, but then if you put your mind into it, if you stay committed, trust me, you're going to sell it, you're going to make it out there. And the problem we have is people, not starting from somewhere. Because if I wanted to wait until I have a big shop, until I have a shop stocked with wigs, I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have gotten to this place I am right now. But I started with the little I had. I started with no shop. I started with nowhere. But today I have a place. I have like a showroom. I have a place I can stay and do my work. So just stay committed. Just put your mind into it. I know it's not really easy. It's like bitter and sweet. But then if you know what you are doing and you just start and do it and stay committed, trust me, you will thank yourself. My plans for the next coming years, I don't really want to stay because currently we are in Akwa Ibom State. I look forward to have some branches in other states and even outside the country. At least by the grace of God, I've been able to penetrate 3 countries already: Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Kenya, which I look forward to more. So I don't just want to stop here. I don't just want to stop in Akwa Ibom. I want to have more branches within the country, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, Bayelsa, where we have law schools, and in other countries. So I want to be like a major supplier in Nigeria and also have so many branches within the country and outside the country. My word to you is, if you are watching this video, I want you to take this from me: whatsoever you want to do, whatsoever that thing that is in your mind to do, I want you to start doing it right away. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, okay, let me just wait until when I have so much money. Let me just wait until when someone is able to assist me. Start from where you are. I sold my sewing machine. I sold my dearly violin, and you can do it. Yeah. So if you're watching this, I want to encourage you that whatsoever you have in mind to do, or whatever you are doing, stay committed, stay focused. Throughout 2023, I didn't make much sales, but I was consistent. I was always out there. I was louding it. I was louding my business as well. I was selling every day. You wouldn't even know that I was not really making much sales, but the way I was louding it, the way I was so committed, you would think I was selling every day. So whatsoever you have in mind to do, start right away. Involve God, because trust me, God has been like the pillar of like the whole thing. I've never left him out at any point. Starting from day one, he was solely involved. Until today, he is still involved, because the way everything has escalated, the growth and everything, it is only God that has done it. So be very closer to God. Stay committed to whatsoever you are doing and stay consistent. Take it on your head, loud your market, loud your business, and trust me, with time you will see the growth, you will see the difference, and you'll be so proud of yourself, and everybody around you will be so proud of you too.